Hello everyone. From this video we are starting a series called SuperVocab. In this series we will discuss 10 English words daily which will help you for your upcoming banking exams. And we will also discuss memory tricks so that we can remember the words easily. Okay, so let's begin with the day 1 of the series. Okay, so the first word is plummet. So plummet is a verb. Meaning of plummet is to fall suddenly and quickly from a higher level or position. Let's take a look at the example. Share prices plummeted to an all-time low. So this means that share prices fell to a huge extent. Okay, so the forms of verbs are plummet, and the second form is plummeted, and third is also plummeted. So how to remember the word plummet? So just remember the word plum. So plum is a fruit, and when it breaks from the tree, so it falls downwards. Okay, so that's how we can remember that if the word is plummet, we will think about plum that falls from the tree downwards. So plummet means a downfall. Okay, so let's move to the next word. So the next word is substantiate. It is also a verb. So the meaning of substantiate is give evidence or provide information to prove that something is true. So basically when you are saying something and you are also providing evidence and the relevant information to prove that it is true, so basically you are substantiating. Okay, and this is what it means. So the example is the CCTV footage substantiated the victim's claim. So in this example we can see there is a claim that the victim is making, and he is also providing some CCTV footage. So by providing that CCTV footage, he is basically substantiating that his claim is true. Okay, so the forms of verbs are substantiate, substantiated, and substantiated. Okay, so how to remember this? So the pronunciation of the word sounds like substantiate, and we can bifurcate this as substantiate. So here subs means burgers, and just think that you have 10 burgers and some girl ate those burgers. So you are saying someone that my 10 subs she ate. So you are telling someone that my 10 subs she ate. So substantiate. You are providing that information that what I am saying is true. Okay, so this is how you can remember this. Okay, let's move to the next word. So the third word is acquaintance. Acquaintance is a noun. So the meaning of acquaintance is a person that you know but who is not a close friend. Okay, and it also means a slight knowledge of something. So you can take the example of some celebrities you see on TV or in films. You know them but you are not a close friend of them. Okay, and let's take a look at the example. The pupils had a little acquaintance with the language. So it is stated that so they knew about the language but they didn't have much knowledge about it. Okay, so let's take a look at the pronunciation. Acquaintance. So we can bifurcate this as acquaintance. Just think of a queen who belongs to 10th century. You know the name of that queen but you are not a close relative or friend of hers. So in this way you can remember this: acquaintance, acquaintance, and acquaintance. You know her but you don't share a close relationship with her. Okay, so let's move to the next word. Next word is instigate. Instigate is a verb. So the meaning of instigate is to make something start to happen, usually used in a negative sense. Okay, so the example is there has been an increase in the amount of violence instigated by gangs. Instigate basically means to start something, but it is used in a negative sense. So basically when someone starts something negative, you can say that he instigated that thing. And the forms of verb are instigate, instigated, and instigated. And the memory trick is instigate and Instagram. They sound similar, and nowadays we see a lot of chaos and violence that starts from social media. If someone makes some kind of controversial claim on social media, it leads to some kind of unrest. Okay, so basically we are talking about the whole social media, but Instagram sounds similar to instigate. That's why I have taken Instagram as an example. Okay, So the next word is opulence. Opulence is a noun. So the meaning of opulence is wealth, riches, money. Okay. So the opulence of the hotel was quite a contrast to its surroundings. So just think of a hotel which is very expensive and huge and luxurious, but its surroundings are very basic and not well properly maintained. So this is what this sentence means. Okay, and how to remember opulence? Opulence sounds similar to ambulance. So let's take an example. There are two friends, and one of them is very rich and he has a very big luxurious house, and the other friend visits his house, and when he sees that much wealth and luxury, he just faints. So the other one has to call an ambulance for him. So that way you can relate opulence with ambulance. Okay, so let's move to the next word. Next word is sheer. Sheer is an adjective and it is used to emphasize the size, degree or amount of something. So when you want to say that something is huge and something is really considerable, so we use sheer. So let's take a look at the example. I have got where I am through sheer hard work. So this means that I have done a lot of hard work to reach where I am today. So how to remember this? Sheer sounds similar with sheep. Okay, and a sheep always walks in a group, and the group is of huge size. Okay, so you can remember this from sheep. Sheer means big size, and sheep also walks in a big sized group. Okay, so let's move to the next word. Next word is entail. It is a verb and it means to make something necessary or to involve something, and you can also use it as a synonym for involve. So it means that someone is talking about a job which sounds interesting, but he's not sure that what it is about, what it involves. Okay, so the forms of verbs are entail, entailed and entailed, and the memory trick is entail sounds similar to tale. So tale is a story, and just take a look at this. Kids gets involved in the fairy tale. So entail means involve, and it sounds similar to tale, and when kids hear some fairy tale, they get so much involved in it. Okay, so you can remember entail with tale or fairy tale. So the next word is intricate. It is an adjective and it means very complicated and detailed. So the example is an intricate network of canals. So just think of a city which has a lot of canals and they are joined with each other in a very complicated way. So this is what intricate means, that the network of canals is intricate, very complicated and detailed. How to remember intricate? So intricate sounds similar like entry gate, and the entry gate of various monuments have detailed design. So you must have seen some monuments which have huge entry gates and they are very beautifully designed and there is carving on them which is very fine and complicated as well. So that way you can relate intricate to entry gate, a beautiful and detailed entry gate. Okay, so the next word is staid. Staid is an adjective and it means serious, old fashioned and rather boring. So something or someone which is very dull and old fashioned or very serious, it is staid. So the example is he dresses in a very staid way with no sense of fashion. And how to remember this? So staid sounds similar with straight, and you can just remember staid, straight, staid and straight. So staid means straight and simple. Okay, and the last word is obviate. It is a verb and it means to remove a difficulty, problem or the need for something. So basically it means that if someone is in a problem and some other person helps him to come out of that problem, so he is basically obviating the problem. Okay, the example is the solar panels in this device obviate the need for batteries. So it means that solar panels, any device in which we use solar panels, so we don't have to use batteries. Okay, so solar panels obviate the need of batteries, right? So the forms of verbs are obviate, obviated and obviated. So how to remember this? So this word has a very interesting example. Obviate sounds similar with obvious. Obviate, obvious. And so the memory trick is, it is obvious that the Indian Defense Forces will obviate every problem. So we have always seen that if any kind of national security issue prevails in the country, our Indian Defense Forces always solve the problem very smoothly. So you can relate obviate with obvious, and further obvious with Indian Defense Forces, that it is obvious that they will obviate every problem. Okay, obviate means they will remove every problem. Okay, so that's all for today. Thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe, like and share if you like this video and you found it helpful. See you in the next video.